Hello guys, welcome back to Let's Talk Expedition Africa. Well, I have such a special friend today on our show. Let's meet. For those of you who don't know her name is Sharla Faragher. She's actually our presenter. I can hear the dog at the back. How are you, Sharla? Welcome. Can you hear me?
Getting you. Apologies, my third kids are newly adopted, so they still have separation anxiety. Hi there.
How are you? You look beautiful, and look at this.
How's it going, everyone? Oh, it's always good to dress up for the cameras. Hey, Heidi, we know this.
Always, always. Now, guys.
Cheers, everyone. Hope you're all keeping safe during lockdown.
Guys, the reason why we're all looking so all florally and flower and Sharla is because, as you heard some of my previous recordings, I spoke to Simon, and they were actually supposed to be already in Mauritius, and now they're stuck in South Africa. And then we thought, you know what, to lift up the spirit and just to be positive, we are going to just like imagine we're already on the island of Mauritius. Can you hear me, Sharla?
Yeah, we're going to play pretend. We'll drink cocktails while we have alcohol and wear flowers in our hair.
So friends, for those of you who don't know Sharla, if you don't know her, it means you haven't seen some of our videos for Expedition Africa. So Sharla is our presenter now for several years. I've learned so much from her. She's actually the one who's supposed to do these talk shows. She speaks beautifully under the immense pressure and midnight, morning hours, any situation. This girl can, she can talk. She can speak to people and fix, and she can basically do everything. So also, I need to tell everybody who's watching today that not only is she an incredible chef and she can do cocktails and drinks. If you want to go to a restaurant and order anything, normally myself and Stephen will just say, no, Sharla, you can order. She knows, she knows what you like eating. She's definitely the mommy in our team, looking after all of us, making sure we have food and warm blankets. And she's one of those people you definitely want in your team. If it's either racing or obviously also in our media team presenting, Sharla is the one who can do basically all of that. Sharla, it's truly,
yeah, Heidi. We've had a few moments in different countries where nobody could speak the language and we had to try and decipher some menus. Hey, for one, we were filming World Champs in Reunion 2 years ago, and nobody could speak French, and we had to try and figure out some of the menus there. And we've had India, where nobody knew what was on the menu other than dal, and we had to try and work out some of those curries, make sure we didn't end up with goat, or even in Rodrigues, where we ended up with all the strange octopus, fried octopus, crispy octopus, soggy octopus, pickled octopus, you name it, fresh raw octopus. We've had a few culinary stories behind us, that's for sure.
Oh, it's just incredible, Mary. So we've been, since Sharla and Simon, by accident basically, bumped into us at the Swaziland race. And ever since there, they became our filming crew after that. And the filming crew, for the guys at home, I would like to show today to you that it's so much more than just the guys coming in. They just don't rock up at a race and film and put these amazing films together. As a team, we spend incredible amount of time behind the scenes, looking at the maps, looking at the route. And most of the times, well, all the time, Simon and Sharla and Quinn have been part of the promotional video. And that means, like a year before the event, we travel to the destination and we film. The promotional film is normally enticing all of you guys to come to our event. And that actually obviously helps a lot, because then they know the route, they know the people in the area. So by the time they get to the race, it isn't that slight, a little bit easier, I would say. Sharla, you agree with me about that?
Absolutely, absolutely. So the scouting trips for us are amazing, because we get to know the people, we get to know a little bit about the route, where we're likely to catch people. We get to figure out the timings as well, because it's important for us to have our timings right. We can't always rely on the trackers, because we don't always have cell signal or anything like that. And if you miss a team coming through, it could be several hours before another team comes, and they might not even come on that route. So going on the scouting trips is great fun, and it's a privilege, because as a mom, I get to take my child with us. So it's fantastic. You know, Quinn has done all the expeditions with us. He's gone to all the filming. He comes and does all the scouting with us. So he's been to India, he's been to Reunion, he's been to Rodrigues, he's done the wonderful Namakwa West Coast so many times. He's done Lesotho so many times with us. He's a real little world traveler, and it's a privilege to be able to take our kids with us and go and do this with friends and create this beautiful content. And just, by the way, we really love creating beautiful stuff, enticing you all into the suffering, so that when you don't see that beautiful waterfall and you keep thinking, when am I going to get there? When am I going to go down this waterfall? And it, for some reason, couldn't be in the route race because something changed last minute. Yes, you do get to swear at both Stefan and us, because we were the ones who enticed you into it. We lure you into this romantic idea of suffering is great.
No, it's really incredible. And I also think, Sharla, from a stress point of view, those scouting trips or filming the promotional video beforehand is much more enjoyable for us. It's a smaller team, it's only us and you guys. And then we're not so limited by time, like it's an actual event. So
Exactly.
as two families together with our children, those trips are, you know, in my opinion, normally the most fun of putting it together.
Yeah, it's more of a discovery for us, I think. We get to discover all the local little tannie met haar beskuit and condensed milk coffee in the morning, and hidden gems like Fry's Cove, sitting down, having a nice lunch with Tristan and Bruce and drinking some of the best wine and taking a couple of bottles home and sitting on the strip drinking that, you know. It's a discovery of the area, and we find lots of, like I said, hidden gems. You find beautiful unknown waterfalls and random paths. The one time that we were in India and we decided, remember where we were going to start Expedition India? And we hiked down and we ended up going all the way around and finding the trucks that had fallen off the cliff. Remember that big hike that we did? So as a mom, it's oh my word, my child is going to die. He's going to fall off the side of a Himalayan mountain. But no, it's fantastic. I mean, we did 25K hike and it was great. It was great.
Yeah, it's incredible. For the friends at home, I actually just need to mention to you that don't just look at this pretty face. You know, she's a tough cookie. Sharla has done like nearly over 8 of our 120K races, many of the 25 where they normally bring Quinn, their son, into the race and raced with him. So, you know, the reason why she's also so easy to go and film and go on the hikes and the routes and find the teams in the middle of the night is because it's just second to nature to Sharla. And Sharla, from our side, I always hear from teams afterwards where they've met the TV crew, you know, as they call it, in the middle of the night at transitions, and they were tired or they're not feeling well. And I think it's where that real softness and mommy thing comes in, you know, where you always encourage people and try to convince them to continue the race. And I mean, that is really beautiful and incredible to always hear it after the races, that you guys are more than just filming the beautiful races. And I mean, there's always people who film this event all over the world, but from our side, it is important that the crew and the people who works with us is like feeling our heart. And you guys are truly like in it and feeling it, if I can say it like that.
Yeah. You need to be fully invested. And I think I speak for the videographers, us, and our team, because you have to be ready at a moment to present. You only get one chance to capture that shot of someone falling over in the sand or whatever. And if you don't have it on focus, or you're not running next to the bike or anything like that, then you miss it. Sometimes we have issues with the drones, and then you've missed a beautiful shot, but you've been there for the moment, but you've missed that shot. So you have to be on the ball 24/7 throughout the race. And I'm the person, I capture some content and I do a lot of presenting, but I ask the really awkward questions, the emotional questions, the happy questions. So I use a smaller camera. I like to spend a lot of time with a lot of the racers prior to the race, so that I get to know them as people, so that, do they have a baby on the way, or have they just lost a loved one, or is it a brother who's racing with his brother for the first time? Take Troy and Don. For many years they begged to race together, and eventually they did it. Very emotional race. So if you have some background on the teams, not just the statistics, but the humans, the people who are doing this and what their motivation is for doing it, it's quite interesting to explore that aspect of the filming as well, because I think sometimes we get a little glimpse of someone's soul when they're at their lowest or at their highest, which is what adventure racing is all about. It gives you your lowest lows and your highest highs, right? And when you've got a camera and they don't realize it, you definitely get a small peek into their soul.
You definitely get a better response, because you know what happens, even yourself when you were racing, even with me, like you have that sad or weak moment, and the moment when there's a camera or a person is sort of, you lighten up and like, oh, hello, I'm fine, and whatever, and it takes quite a bit of emotion to get over that, where you can just be like who I am. And I've remembered actually several video clips. There's that one in Rodrigues where Diane, like, you actually opened one of your clips where she said, no, don't speak to me. Like, I mean, those are the shots, which is amazing, because you actually got a person who's like just at that moment honest and just like, okay, don't speak to me, but you get it, and it shows amazing content. I mean, I know for myself, I've spoken earlier this week with another competitor, and she said she's a little bit down, now with the lockdown and all of that, and another racer. And all she does is she's just watching the videos over and over and over, and it gave it this happiness and warmth. So I know it's such a difficult job, and I know you guys put also so much pressure on yourself and the races, but I mean, the content over the last few years has just got better and better, and it's just amazing.
I think that's the key thing, Heidi. Like you say, whenever someone sees a camera or whatever, they pep up and they want to look great in front of the camera. But because I think we've been doing it for so many years, we've really gotten to know the people. So we get to see their true colors. Yeah. They don't, maybe the first day or two, they try and pep up and look like they're running, or, stuff like that. And it's not that we try and reflect people in a bad light. We want to show the true nature of the race and what it takes, teamwork, to get people through this. And this is the beauty of adventure racing. My son, who's now 11, has been doing this, for 4 or 5 years, that he's been coming with, and seen so many people racing and seen the suffering, but he's seen what it takes for people to pick themselves up and carry on, and what it takes for teamwork. And I think that is a real life situation. I don't want my child to grow up in a protected bubble, but those are real life situations where he can relate to so many things in his own life and what it's going to take to pull you through. And I think that's the most important thing for us. Sorry about these dogs. Sorry.
No, that is your adopted dogs. They're wonderful. I see the most beautiful photos of them. They are so adorable. And I obviously want them.
Yeah, I adopted them.
Oh.
They're 2 rescues, so they still have separation anxiety when I'm not in the room. So they just want to be near us all the time.
Sharla, tell our friends at home, like, over so many years and so many races, do you have 1 or 2 highlights which is like fresh in your memory, which you'd like to share with us? Special moments?
Definitely the scouting trip to Rodrigues. That was incredible. Discovering that little island that was just a speck in the ocean, and we didn't think there was a single thing on that ocean. on that little island. We went there with zero expectations, and it delivered way above and beyond. So that one was pretty cool. One of our I loved India. India was a very special place for us on all our trips. But the one that stands out for us as well was when you and I went on a business trip to go and speak to all the government and get all the permissions and the officials and stuff. It was literally bam, 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 bam. And it was during monsoon season, and it was the craziest trip. That's when we discovered Shimla, and it was raining, and we were running down these streets in India, all dressed in heels, and these Indian men sitting in these offices just staring at us, and they brought us tap water to drink. And our scarves wrapped around us so that our hair didn't frizz from the rain, and applying each other's lipstick because there were no mirrors. And the tap water, in the middle of Delhi, they bring us tap water in a glass to drink, and I'm like, I don't think I'm going to do this. Oh. It was the weirdest thing. And you go from one office to the next, and you have to go to 3 different offices to see one person. It was crazy. It was just crazy. It was all business, but it was the funniest trip ever.
It was all business, but I mean, that is wonderful. That is like the things people don't see or know. That is so many trips before the actual event, and so many things that happen. And like you say, it's from the one office to the next in India and our scarves, and we're 2 women by ourselves, and drinking that water, and then Shimla. That was just an incredible highlight from my side as well. I actually remembered in Shimla we found this bar overlooking the city. Remember that? How beautiful! There was just us in this bar, and we just wanted to have one.
Oh, it was magnificent!
And it was singing, and we were the only 2 ladies, Western ladies, there dancing, and you had remember that? How awesome was that? Anyway,
we ended up ordering beers and doing our impromptu karaoke, and the DJ loved it.
And he only looked at us, and then when we didn't sing along with the song, like he cut his song short, and he chose another song, and then the moment we hear, something familiar, and we start dancing, he was smiling, and he was just singing for us. Oh, wow. It's incredible. Sharla,
yeah, it was brilliant.
Sharla, one more thing I want to ask you to share with our friends at home. Guys, as you listened to a few chats already, you will see that I try to chat with everybody who's involved with Expedition Africa, from the perspective of our media and the perspective of our races. And it shows you just truly what it's all about, the whole package and what it takes and all the incredible memories we have for all these years. But Sharla, when you do an event, please share with our friends, what is the hardest part in the event side when it's actually happening? And I know that, even from our side, you've seen it all, myself and Stefan, and I can always bring it in. It's not easy. What is for you the hardest part in the event?
I think you get used to the sleep deprivation. Sometimes it does catch you, and you do have a low moment, and you flip and you lose it with people. I think the challenge is working under so much pressure and having to deliver an amazing product to live up to everybody's expectations, including our own, under such tight time schedules. We film, we've got 3, 4, 5 cameras, excluding any drones. There's 3 of us. It's Derailed, Simon, and myself that are all filming. You got to film very selectively, and then we got to go back to HQ, wherever that might be, in the back of a van tonight, or under a tent, or wherever it may be. Sometimes we edit under a bridge, and that is where Derailed is brilliant. We've brought him in the last, I think, 3 years, 3 years that we've brought Derailed in, and before that, Simon used to film all day and then edit and try and get it out. So we've actually worked out, we average about 2 hours of sleep a day, every day for these events. So I think the biggest challenge for us is working under pressure and delivering. And for me, I do content and presenting, but I need to keep the team together. I need to keep them sane. So if Derailed needs a bottle of red wine, to getting his creative juices flowing, I will bring you a bottle of red wine. Sit there, stay calm, don't lose it, get some sleep. You know, Simon pushes and pushes and pushes. So I need to manage his sleep, and I need to make sure he's got snacks in the car the whole time. Otherwise, he just gets grumpy. So it's drivorse and fruit, and the healthy stuff lasts the first day or two, and then it's done. Then it's onto I need to sustain myself, chocolates and chips and biscuits and whatever you can find. Yeah. Our child is brilliant because he just sleeps anywhere at any given time. So he has no schedule whatsoever. But you need to make sure that the guys remember to pack something warm because you're going to be out for hours and you don't know if you're going to come back. And you need to remind them of these things because they've got so much going on that sometimes I need to just take a step back and make sure that they have all their stuff. Pack that extra towel. Like in Rodrigues, it was important for us to have a towel to keep yourself dry and have little dry bags and pack all the important stuff in the dry bags for them, because they don't always think about these things. They're in such a hurry to get going and get everything because they're so scared they miss the shot, that you just need to actually manage them and manage their food intake and their sleep and everything else behind the scenes, and the logistics as well, because things are always changing, you know. Then this road is closed, or there's not a boat going out here, and we need to make sure that everybody's up to date. And did you get this team? There's a story happening here, so I need to be on the ball with all the stories, you know. The team that got charged by a bull in Rodrigues, like, oh, I've heard this, guys, can we find this team? Let's go and film them, you know, stuff like that. So it's important to just keep the cogs turning behind the scenes, I think.
Well, Sharla, from our side, I mean, you guys, we had an incredible journey over so many years. You guys are coping with adversity, all situations. And I mean, there's been incredible highs and incredible lows. And I know every time to pick ourselves back up and just go for the next race. We've got incredible memories now for our 10th edition. Sorry, the city obviously didn't happen this year, but we have great content, and I now have asked Simon to make me something extra just to show people again on our last trip we had in December. You know,
in December, yeah.
It was incredible footage, maybe something more for Lucy too. So from our side, I mean, we can only say thank you. And thank you for this wonderful journey. And it's not just for the filming, for being a friend and a supporter. You my go-to person when it comes to food, advice, homeschooling. And for those also who don't know, Sharla can even fix a car. I mean, she's like a mechanic, this girl. Sharla, she for many years had a CV joint, and what CV joint and what shop, Sharla?
Suspensions.
So
CV
this girl,
suspensions,
guys, I'm just telling you, if you're ever stuck or get a broken down car or anything, you can go to this girl. She's a motorcycling girl. She can really do everything. So Sharla, from our side, we can just thank you guys. She can do it. I mean, what can't you do?
Heidi, I think we all speak from experience. We go from sleep deprived, hair hasn't been washed for 4 days, bags under the eyes, to quickly make it look natural, curls, bloemie hare, lipstick, bit of powder on the face, smile and wave and welcome everybody, you know. I think it's what both of us do at all these events.
Yeah, I mean, it's wonderful, and I'm so happy I've got somebody in the racing who can share with me those moments and understand us. So from our side, it was an incredible journey. I hope you guys can get into Mauritius as quick as you can, and we can get you back for Lesotho. And as I said to Simon, I hope we can do an Expedition Africa Mauritius in the future.
Let's do it. Cheers, everyone. Thanks, Sharla. It's been great chatting to you.
Thank you for chatting.
Bye.
Bye.